Okay, so there's a new technology emerging, right at the intersection of energy security, climate change, and raw geopolitical power. It's small, it's modular, and honestly, it could fundamentally reshape the global balance of power for generations. We're talking about small modular reactors, and the stakes here are absolutely massive.
In this quote right here, it really gets to the heart of the matter, doesn't it? For decades, the entire global economy has been running on a system that, well, creates these huge vulnerabilities. You know, when energy can be used as a weapon, relying on other countries for it is a serious strategic weakness.
And look, this is not some theoretical risk. This slide makes the problem painfully clear. In 2023, more than 41% of the European Union's energy came from Russia. That huge red slice of the pie, that represents a multi-billion-dollar liability, tying Europe's economy and its security directly to a geopolitical rival. So you've got this pressure coming from two different directions. On one side, you have all these threats to energy supplies, conflicts, attacks on shipping lanes, you name it. And on the other side, there's this immense pressure to go green. We're talking climate commitments and new carbon taxes, like the EU's Carbon Border Adjustment Mechanism, that basically make high-carbon industries too expensive to compete.
So, with that pretty high-stakes problem laid out, let's look at the tech solution that's been gaining some incredible momentum, and that is Small Modular Reactors, or SMRs for short. So, what are we actually talking about here? First, forget those huge, sprawling nuclear power plants you might be picturing from the 20th century. SMRs are a totally different beast. The magic phrase here is factory built. The whole idea is to mass produce them, kind of like cars or airplanes, and then ship them to a location for final assembly.
And this chart really shows you why that factory-built approach is such a big deal. I mean, traditional reactors are notorious for taking a decade, maybe more, to build, with these eye-watering upfront costs. SMRs just flip that whole model on its head. They're way faster to get online, the upfront cost is lower, and they're super flexible on where you can put them. They can power anything from a remote town to a giant industrial park.
So, how do they actually work? Well, the basic physics is the same nuclear fission we've known and used for over half a century. You can see in the diagram here, it all starts in the core. Atoms split, and that generates a ton of heat. That heat creates steam, the steam drives a turbine, and boom, you get electricity. The real genius of the SMR is just packing that entire process into one compact, super safe, factory-built unit.
All right, so let's take this from theory to a massive, real-world application. We're going to turn our attention to India, a nation that is betting its entire industrial future on this SMR technology. Just look at that number, 100 gigawatts. That's India's goal for its nuclear power capacity by 2047. Now, to put that into perspective, that's more than a 12-fold increase from where they are today. It is a truly monumental national project.
So why is India making such a colossal bet? Well, it really comes down to four key things. It's about powering a booming economy and trying to hit some ambitious climate goals. It's about providing clean, constant power for heavy industry. And, critically, it's about energy security, breaking free from relying on imported fossil fuels. And finally, they see it as a huge economic opportunity, inviting private companies to help build out this new energy system.
And this isn't just some energy policy. This is really becoming a core part of India's national identity for the 21st century. By planning to actually build these SMRs at home under their Make in India program, they see a path to becoming a global leader in advanced energy, all while hitting their climate targets.
Okay, so let's zoom out from India for a minute and look at the global stage. Because this technology is quickly becoming a new, high-stakes battleground for international competition.
Take a really close look at this chart. See that rising red line? That's China. And it's on a path to overtake the US as the world's #1 nuclear power. And let me tell you, this is about way more than just electricity. Leadership in civilian nuclear tech translates directly into global influence.
So why is that? Well, think about it. When a country like Russia or China builds a nuclear plant for another nation, they're not just selling a power plant. They're creating a strategic dependency that can last for 100 years, through fuel, through training, through maintenance. The US and its allies see SMRs as a powerful counteroffer, a way to provide clean, reliable energy without all those geopolitical strings attached.
And these strategic games hit very close to home too. The US military is one of the biggest energy consumers on the planet, but its bases in the US rely on the civilian power grid. That's a massive security risk.
So now, the Department of Defense is looking very seriously at SMRs to create self-sufficient, energy-independent bases that can't be taken down by a cyber attack on the grid.
So, all of this, from national industrial plans to military security, is creating a huge new market. Let's switch gears and look at this from the world of finance, where SMRs look like a massive opportunity, but one that is packed with some serious risk.
And this is really the central question for anyone managing money right now. Do you bet big on a technology that, historically, has been known for delays and cost overruns? Or do you risk getting left behind, holding assets that might become worthless as the world decarbonizes? It's a classic high-stakes choice.
And you can see the push and pull factors laid out right here. The risks are very real. We've seen project cancellations and infamous delays before, but the potential rewards are just as compelling. SMRs provide that clean, reliable power that everyone needs. They align perfectly with ESG, or environmental, social, and governance investment goals. And they offer a way to future-proof your portfolio against this huge energy transition.
Now, of course, we have to acknowledge that there's some strong opposition here. A lot of environmental and transparency groups argue that this tech is still mostly unproven at scale. And their main point is that every dollar spent developing SMRs is a dollar that could have been spent on proven, cheaper solutions that are ready to go today, like solar, wind, and just being more energy efficient.
So what's it going to take? Well, the bottom line is that most private money is just sitting on the sidelines waiting. For this industry to really launch, investors need a big, clear signal from governments. That means things like loan guarantees, clear and steady regulations, and some public funding to help get the first few projects off the ground and prove the technology works.
So, after looking at the tech, the geopolitics, and the money, what's the big takeaway here?
SMRs are definitely not a silver bullet, but they are so much more than just another way to make electricity. They represent a potential solution to that dual crisis of energy security and climate change. They're a tool for industrial transformation and a brand new chessboard for global competition.
And that really leaves us with the ultimate question. The technology is here, the need for it is undeniable, and the stakes, well, they could not be higher. Whether this becomes a story of global transformation or just a cautionary tale of a high-risk gamble, that's going to be decided in the next decade.